Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Code With Drew. So in today we are going to be diving into one of the most fundamental and exciting aspects of Python, and that is strings. So strings are going to be everywhere in programming. This allows to represent text and interact with users input, display input, and so much more. Master string is the key to the next step in your Python journey. So if you are ready to level up your Python skills, stick around to the end. Don't forget to like and subscribe as you watch my YouTube tutorials. So let's get started. What are strings? Strings are sequences of characters. So for example, I can have name. Now I'm setting it to Andrew. So this a sequence of character. We have character ANDREW that make up the word Andrew. So if I should go ahead now and print out the type of this name, but just by having type like this, then followed by name in parentheses. If I should print this type out now, you'll be seeing that we are getting a type of string, a class string. That's str. This is showing us that it is a string. But one thing is that you must notice that in this string, I use a double quote, right? So when you're working with string, you can use either a double quote or just a single quote. I can just go ahead and print out this string itself. So that's me printing out name, right? So if I should run this, now I'm getting Andrew on that. So if I should change this to double quote, now you see that a single quote instead of double quote, everything still work quite all right? So in string, you can use double quote or single quote, but you must just be consistent in whatever you are using. You cannot start with a single quote and end with a double quote. And now you can see that we are having a right here, which is symbolizing an error there. We cannot start with a single quote and end with a double quote. And we cannot do it the other way, start with the double quote and end with a single quote. So you must be consistent whenever you're using a quote. But there are situations where you want to use single and double quotes in your string. And why should you use a single and double quote in your string? And when do you know when to use both of them in your string? Okay. It depends on the content of your string. So if you are writing a string that contains a single quote, your double quote should be on the outside to avoid syntax error. So for example, let's say I want to write a message here. So let me just change this back to double quote to remove this error. And okay, I will erase this now. Let's say I want to write a message here, and I'm having a variable called message here. And this message is just like I can't code, right? Now you can see that this string is contain a single quote right here. So if you're using a single quote as one of the character in your string, you must enclose this string in a double quote. Similarly, if you're using a double quote, you enclose it in a single quote. So I can just go ahead and print message right here. And now I'm getting I can't code with this quote, with this single quote included. And the reason is this like this, that when you start with a double quote, Python is going to look for the next double quote to know where the string end. So it's going to like overlook this single quote. So, and same thing now, let's say I start with a single quote now and I end with a single quote. Python is looking for the next single quote to end it. So now when you find the next single quote here, it assumes that this is just string and everything after it is an error. So if I should change this to a double quote now, it's like overlooking this double quote and seeing it as a part of the string, then looking for the next single quote to terminate the string. So now we can see that we are still getting this error. An alternative approach to this now is to use what we call special characters, and these are called escape characters. They are kind of special characters that we can use inside these quotes. For example, now, so if I should change this back to double quotes, okay, let me just do this as single quotes now, and I want to use single quotes right here. I can use an escape character here, and it's just for me to use a backslash. Okay, just like this. So like this now, I've told Python to just like overlook this next quote that's as a part of the string. Now you can see that the color right there is different, and this is just me using an escape character in Python. There are so many other escape characters, but this is one of them that we use with string. So, and one thing you know about string is that you can write in multi-line strings in Python using triple quotes. And what do you mean by multi-line strings in Python? So let's say you are writing a code now, and this code is just like getting long already. So let me just say, let me have another variable here, and I'll call this message 2. and I'll just have this to be okay. Let me say I want to write, okay, I want to write a multi-line string in Python. So we can just assume this is way longer than this, and it's kind of like doing this. I want to break this into multiple lines. Another way we can do this is to start here with triple quotes, either single or double, but we have to be consistent with what we are using to start and terminate it. And once we start this way, you can just go down from here, and Python will see treat all this as a single line. And if I should just go ahead and print out message right here, sorry, no code there, print out message right here, Python, okay, not message, print out message 2 this time around. Python is still printing out everything as a multi-line string right here. So this is how we work it, multi-line string. Okay, but how do we measure the length of a string? So let's say you want to get the length of the character in a string, right? So let's say you want to get the length of the character in a string. How do we do that? So I'll just go ahead and cut out this my message right here, then paste it back here. And I would like to change this message to hello Python. So let's have this as hello Python, and let me just put a comma here and an exclamation mark here. So this is hello Python. This is me saying hello to Python. So let's say, how do I measure the length of the string? Oh, what I can do here to get the length of this string is just by simply saying, going here and using, okay, I want to print out this length of the string, going here and then using a function in Python, a string function in Python called len, and this is just short form of length. So when I pass in this len, now I pass in message as the argument to this length now, and now I want to get the length of this string. Now I'm getting 14. Why 14? We have each, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This 13. Why is that? But we're getting 14. That's because I didn't count the space we have right here. So this space 2 is a character in Python. So it's counting all the characters we have in this sequence called string. So that's how you get that in Python. But let's say we want to access a particular character from this string now, just like you want to access just this h, just this p alone from this string. So how do you do that now? So each character in a string has an index, and this index is just like an identity to this character. So to access them now, you must print out the message and followed by a square bracket. So we can just have message now, then a square bracket with the position of the string. That's the index of the string. So index is just like the position of the string, and in programming we start counting from 0, not 1. So you must have guessed now this h now should be 0, right? So if I should go in with 0, I'm getting h out. You understand? So if I should go in with 7, I'm getting p out. That's because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sorry, we're starting from 0, so this is 7. So that's string right there now. So the second and the last character now can answer the comment now. So let's say I have a variable here called greetings, and I say this to, okay, I say this to welcome. So now I say this to welcome. So can you tell me the index of this letter L? Tell me the index of letter L. So just comment it in the comment section, the index of letter L in this string called greetings. So there's also something we call slicing of strings. And what do you mean by slicing of strings? So I'll just go ahead and comment here, slicing strings. Okay, what do you mean by slicing strings? So slicing strings allow us to extract part of a string. That's using the syntax, like in these strings we use a syntax just like this. This is a string now, we use this, and the index that is starting and the ending index, just like this. So if I should go ahead and just, okay, let me just cut this two from here. Now I'm pasting this here. Now, last time we printed 7 here, we got Python, right? So now if I should do it this way, and we know the last length of this is 14, right? So I should put in 14. That means I'm getting from 7 to 14. And you should must have guessed now I'm going to be getting Python with this exclamation mark. But if I change this to 13, I'm getting Python. That's how you slice a string. And here is another exercise for you to try. So let's say you have message right here. Okay, let's say you have message equals to go and read, or okay, I just say go and read the documentation. So we have go and read the documentation now. Documentation. So just go and slice this read, only the read. Just slice the read from here and comment the answer in the comment section there. So to slice this read, what is going to be the answer? What is going to be the code, message, and the starting index and the ending index? Comment in the comment section. Okay, so let's work on modifying strings. When we talk about modifying strings, how do we do that? And what do you mean by modifying strings? So I'll just go ahead and comment this printing statement right here. So modifying strings is a way whereby we just like we have some method now, some built-in method that we use to like modify our strings, either their case or the way they are, or just to get some information, more information about the strings. So we'll be talking about some of this function right now. So let's go continue with this message. So talking about uppercase now, let's say I want to convert everything to uppercase. All I can just do here is print out message dot upper, right? So if I go ahead and run this, you can now see go and read the documentation all in uppercase, right? So just comment this now and say, okay, let's say we want to work with lowercase now. What I can do right here again is message dot lower. And if I should go ahead and run this again, everything is in lowercase. Okay, but let's say we want to count the occurrences of a character in this string. So we have this go and read the documentation just right here. I want to count how many times t appeared in these strings. We have t1, 2, 3. So I guess we have 3 right here. So I'll just go ahead and write a comment here and just say, okay, count occurrence of a character now. So then I'll print out message dot count. So I'm counting letter T right here now. And let's just go ahead and run this. Manually, you counted 3 and we're getting 3 now. So that's how you count the occurrence of a character in a string. So let's say now we want to find the index of a character. So finding the index of a character. How do you find the index of a character in string? So all you can just go do here is just use the same way, message dot find. So just go with W right here. Okay, we don't have W. So let's find the index of A. So we're getting 3 right here. And okay, let me just print out the message at first so we can work with this. Okay, now we're getting 3. That's 0, 1, 2, 3. And why 3? Because we also have A here, right? So the thing is that is returning the index of the first character we came across that matched this character we put in here, which is A in our case right here. So now, how can we replace a character now? So to replace a character, all we need to do is just print out. Okay, let me comment this. All we need to do is to print out this and just say, okay, we want to have message B. Nevertheless, let's just have a new variable called new message right here. And this is set to message.replace. Now we want to enter the character or the string that we want to replace in this word, and then we're having go and read the documentation, right? So I want to change read to study. So you come with the word you want to replace, then with what you are replacing it with. So that's study, right? So this is study. So now I want to print out new message. So we have go and read the documentation as a first message which you are printing from here. Then go and study the documentation. So one thing you should note about this method is that they are not changing the value of string. Even if when we have like modified this here, if I should like, okay, let me just cut this from here. Okay, let me cut this from here and just paste it below here. So as I was saying, what this string is that they are not modifying, they are not changing the value of this message itself by calling them, but they are returning a new value that has been modified. That's why you can see that this message is still having read, but return a new value that is now stored as a new message and study. So they all work that way. So that's a brief overview of the method we have in Python. So the next thing we'll be working on now is concatenation in Python. We are always going to be using this in Python whenever you're coding in Python. So we're always going to be concatenating strings. So how do we concatenate string and what do we mean by concatenating? So when you need to combine strings, you need to like combine maybe say, let's say age of a user and years old, or just some characters, or just some greetings and name, just a greeting and a name which you have created from the user. So there are different ways you can concatenate. That's you have three major way right here. So concatenation and formatting. So you have three major way right here, and the first one I'll show you right here now is okay. I'll say just say using a plus sign, and let's say you have greeting name, greeting and name here now. I'll just have full greeting. And we have full greeting right here. So what we are doing here is having the greeting as hello and the name as Andrew. This Andrew can just be an input instead, collecting an input from a user. And now full greeting is equals to what? Greeting plus, we are giving it a space, then plus name. So I will just remove this for now and show you something. So if I should go ahead and print out full greeting and run this right here, you are seeing hello Andrew, but there's no space there, right? So this space is the reason why we added this empty space at the middle before adding the other plus to it before. So now we can see the space, right? Hello Andrew, and we can just put a comma here to make it better. So I should go ahead and run this again. We are getting hello Andrew, and the other way we can do this is just by, so the other way we can do this is by using the f string format, and this is just saying okay, using the f string format now, and this is just simply saying print, then we come with f first, then our quotation either single or double, then we're going to use curly braces to represent our variables. So we have greeting first. So now when I have greeting as the first variable here, I want to include my space after this curly braces, then I want to include my space after this curly braces, then I want the name to come along. So now if I should run this now, you see we are getting something similar, and I've commented this code, so we are not getting the same thing. So if I should put my comma here, okay, now we're getting something similar, right? And that's how it is. And the last way we can write this now is saying, okay, is using a format, method. Okay, and what we just do here is just print out, just similar to the f string, but instead of putting f initially, we put these curly braces and they are empty initially. So these curly braces are empty. Then after this string, we call this method called format. And format, now we put in the variables we have initially. The order is very important. They must be in the right order. So the greeting and the name. So if you go ahead and run this now, see that we are getting the same thing. So I can just comment this so it's not be confusing. So we are getting the same thing. And this is how you work with, okay, concatenation in strings. So here is a thought exercise for you that you should just try right here. So and I'm going to just type that out here. So just okay, just have a comment here. Okay, exercise. Write a program now that creates a user by their name using by their name using the three method. Okay, now I'm just using the s string. So write a code that greets a user by their name using the s strings, using the s string. And okay, let's just spice this up. Collect the name as input. Okay, so just collect the name as input, then write this program that greets this user and collect this name as input. Okay, so put your answer in the comment section. Code. Okay, just share your code because there might be other people that is not able to do this. Just share your code so they can all see it. Share your code in the comment section, in the comments below. So that's all. So now we're moving to escape characters, and we've talked about escape character of using the quotation before. So escape character just help you to add a special character to strings. So we just have a few examples here. We've usually talked about including a single quote in string, but let's say we want to have a new line instead. So I won't go back to string quote in string what we talked about not so long. So I'll just say, let's say we want to have a new line now. So we just use this backslash and this, then word. Now you can see the color is quite different from my IDE here. So let me just go ahead and comment this. So now we can see that this hello and the word are in two different lines. So that's how we work with this. And there's this other escape character here, which is just the tab. So this is a way where we give tab in Python. So I'll just say hello, then T, then word. So run this now, you can see that there is a tab right here. This is just a tab right here. So this escape character just help you to format the layout and the format of your strings. So I'll just give a brief summary of some method now that we've worked with before. So don't forget, we work with upper method. We have the uppercase that help you turn your string into an uppercase. We turn the value of uppercase of your string. The count that help you count the occurrence of a specific character. We have the lowercase too that turn them to a lowercase. Find the index of your string and the replace the part of your string. So a quick recap of what we've done here. We've talked about string, then we talked about multi-line strings, talked about greeting in string. This was an exercise. If I could remember, we talked about slicing strings using this syntax here, which is the string name, the starting index, and the ending index. We talk about accessing indexes in Python, then the method, uppercase, lowercase, count for occurrence, finding index of a character by using this, and replacing a character too. Yeah, we talk about concatenation, and we talk about special characters. So experiment with this method on your own now and let me know in the comment section which method you found most useful. There are more other methods to this in Python, more other special characters. You can check Python documentation to know more of this. So wow, that's the end of today's tutorial. You've covered a lot today, and strings are one of the most important concepts in Python. You are mastering them, your coding journey will be much smoother. So if you found this video helpful, please like and consider subscribing for more tutorials like this. Want to keep learning? Okay, check my next video on Python loops. See you next time. Thank you. Bye. So keep coding, keep learning, keep growing.